All right, should be live. Hopefully I'm audible. Just gotta set up my thumbnail and tags. Since I'm streaming from the PlayStation, I'm not, I can't really set up all that stuff beforehand. Just gotta go live and then set it up from what I can tell. So bear with me a sec. Taking a big break from trying to solo the dungeon. I did get my solo done. I got all the triumphs done. I got the title. Still have not got the exotic, but I realized all the other dungeons, I only got the exotic after I did the solo flawless. So I think it's the game's way of punishing me for not doing the solo flawless yet. But I burnt myself out on it for the first 2-3 weeks of release. So I've taken a long break from trying to do the solo flawless. So we'll see where we get with it today. I prepared some builds, so I've got all the builds I need. Yeah, so we'll see where this goes. Okay, so how do I edit the stream once I've already started it? Okay, there's a thumbnail. Hashtag Destiny 2, hashtag Season 23, hashtag Lightfall. Description, solo flawless attempts on Titan. Boy, I forgot how hot it gets in this office when you start to live stream. Okay. Strand, Solar, Void, Lorelei, Splendor, Synthoseps, Helm of Saint 14, Precious Scars. What else? Dragon's Breath. Tractor Cannon. 1-2 Punch. Leviathan's Breath. Yeah, it should be good. Okay, YouTube stuff should be done. Now let me just post this. Save. Okay. Oh, I got 2 watching already. All right, 3. Thanks, guys. Okay, let's share this. Copy, community, post.
Hey Stone,
What's up, GP Red? Let me just get this stream up on my PC so I can see the comments in full. Right now they're just flashing across the PS5 in short form. It's been a while since I last live streamed. I think actually the only times I really live streamed was for solo flawless dungeon attempts. I'm definitely not a natural live streamer. Unlike that Ransom Rider that you know.
It's all good. I have coffee and a blanket, lol.
I'm still absorbing my coffee. I haven't even had a full cup yet. Okay, there we go. I can see you in chat. Hopefully the audio is okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Alright, so I prepared for this last night. I'm wearing this emblem that I've never really worn because, you know, maybe I'm a bit of an elitist like that, but I want this emblem in my face so that I know that I have to upgrade it. But yeah, I tried to do the solo flawless for like the first 2-3 weeks of the season. Well, actually, I more so just tried to flawless it, or solo it, and do each boss, solo each boss kind of optimally. Which I did, and I put out a video on soloing each boss, and I did solo the dungeon. I just haven't done the solo flawless. Once I did the solo and soloed every boss, then I went through and I tried to do some attempts, and those attempts are on my channel. And yeah, I don't know, maybe put in like 7 hours or so of solo flawless attempts, and then I was burnt out. So then I just played the game without even worrying about soloing this dungeon. So now I'm coming back to it like, what, 2 months later? So I went into it last night solo, just kind of do a little bit of a refresher. The trouble with taking a hiatus like that is you kind of lose your rhythm. So now I have to get back into the groove of, my strategies and stuff like that. So there'll probably be some fails. But we'll go through it and see where we can get. So part of the reason why I was kind of like demoralized from trying to solo flawless it was because I was thinking of the video, right? I wanted to put out a video, and I wanted to use like one kind of cohesive subclass to do the whole dungeon, which is what I did for Duality and Spire the Watcher and Ghost of the Deep. Which, by the way, the last time I actually solo flawless a dungeon with Titan was my first solo flawless, which was Duality. Right? I only started playing this game when Witch Queen came out, so that's where I put most of my effort into the content post Witch Queen. So it's been a while since I did it with Titan.
Never had a rhythm, but can't stop playing this.
Yeah, well, I guess the rhythm that I'm speaking about is more just doing the same thing over and over again, kind of like banging your head against a brick wall. I get into a rhythm that way, at least. Actually, like I pretty much started this channel only doing solo flawless stuff. I used to watch when I started playing the game. I got really into it. I started watching content creators do solo flawless, like or solo GMs. Solo Dungeons, Chablo91. I used to watch him a lot, so he was kind of part of the inspiration of my channel for at least putting up the content that I was at first, which was all like solo flawless Nightfalls, weekly campaign missions for the Witch Queen. I think the Ghosts was my first, the second mission in Witch Queen. That was the first thing I solo flawlessed on Master difficulty. And then I proceeded to just do that. I did like 50, 60 videos of solo flawless stuff. Then Lightfall came out, and then Bungie changed the difficulty so you couldn't get to parity with power to do that kind of stuff. So I just kind of stopped because it was a lot of effort. And doing solo flawless stuff is really like you're kind of forced to get into a rhythm because you fail so many times. I fail so many times, I should say, that you just kind of like get into this mode of repetition. But yeah, it could be pretty tiring, especially if it's very challenging what you're doing. So, but yeah, so I did Duality on Arc Titan. I did Spire on Night Stalker, Void Hunter. That was when Gerfalcon said, I think, just come out. I don't even know if Gerfalcons had volatile rounds back then. It may have. And then I did Ghost of the Deep on Warlock on Arc. That was a lot of fun. That was definitely the hardest one of all of them. But yeah, I kind of just stuck with it until I got it done. So yeah, so now I'm back to full circle to Titan. Let's see if I can do it. So the builds, just to go over real quick. Right, I was saying I wanted to, like, for video purposes, I just wanted to do it on one subclass, but I didn't really want to do it on Solar because I find Solar is just, I don't want to say cliche, but it's just like, if you want to see Solar gameplay, just go on YouTube, and that's what everybody's doing. I mean, it's obviously the meta, and it's for good reason with the artifact. It's just everything is set up for Solar. So sometimes the meta kind of turns me off of doing that, but so I was thinking of doing it on Strand, but then the problem is if you're not taking advantage of the artifact and the meta, then you're just slogging through the dungeon, and the way these new dungeons are designed, like having to do 4+ phases on a boss, spend 40 minutes on a single boss, it's just too much. So if you take advantage of the artifact, like with Solar, you can get Revitalizing Blast to weaken the enemy by 15%, and then have Radiant on top of that. So it's really like the only way, other than Void, that you can get an empowering buff and a debuff at the same time. But yeah, so I figured I'm just going to do it this time. I'm just going to do it the same way I did the solo videos for each boss, essentially. Some minor switches, but I'm using Strand Titan for the first boss. This is actually my traversal loadout right here, so in between encounters I'll just equip Strand Titan with Wish Ender, nice and easy. And then for Rathiel, I'm just going to go 1-2 punch shotgun, tractor cannon. Don't have to worry about being radiant or getting any kind of empowering buff, because I'm just gonna punch him to death. It'll probably be a 3-phase. I've done the 2-phase on Rathiel, but that was when you can 1-2 punch double frenzy blade. So like with one shotgun shot, you can do 2 frenzy blades and do a ton of damage. Now you have to do Bungie fixed it, so you have to shoot between every single melee. So it kind of slows down the pace a little bit as far as damage. So it'll probably be a 3-phase, which is fine. But yeah, first boss is just relying on a debuff and ability damage. Second boss, I just feel like Locust is designed for solar. You're in that blizzard, you're freezing to death. Survivability is pretty tough, so I'm just going to go Lorelei Splendor with Dragon's Breath. Part of the inspiration for that is, well, yeah, I've seen a lot of people use Dragon's Breath on this dungeon and that boss, and it's very effective. But now that I did that, I was farming the GM last week with Dragon's Breath and all the ignitions and everything. Just kind of really made me appreciate the potency of this weapon. So I'm gonna seize on the artifact and the meta for Locust, and then for the final boss, right? I am gonna surge swap for Locust, right? Just for survivability and to maintain my armor charge for the entire damage phase, right? So I'll set up with this loadout, get my orbs, get my reserves, have charged up. I actually don't really feel like with Lorelei you need all that much damage resistance, because like you're just healing all the time. So I'm gonna get 4 stacks of armor charge, and then before I dunk the last orb, I'm gonna switch to surges, right? So still with charged up, and then triple time dilation, so I'll have like a solid 60 seconds of armor charge, which should be enough to pretty easily maintain armor charge for the whole damage phase. And then I actually crafted this scatter signal. I've got 2. I was using overflow control burst, but control burst, you kind of need to dump all your reserves to really capitalize on controlled burst. And if you're rotating between Dragon's Breath and scatter signal, then you're only going to shoot like 3-4 shots, and then Dragon's Breath is going to be reloaded, shoot another shot, and then you gotta restart controlled burst, right? So overflow doesn't really matter that much. You still get 8 in the mag, and the thing with slice is I could take advantage of what's it called? Torch, right? So I can apply that strand debuff while radiant to get, I think it's another 5% damage or something like that. And slice is a little bit awkward to use because you got to use your class ability first, but if you're on Lorelei Splendor, you're always going to have your barricade available, and you should be using it. So it means that slice is going to be, pretty intuitive to apply. I could basically do it, I practiced last night a little bit, I could basically do it at every single plate. I can drop my barricade and slice the boss, and then just, fire a few shots of fusion and Dragon's Breath. I can get off 2-3 Dragon's Breath shots on each plate. Now that Dragon's Breath got the reserve bump with the rocket launcher rework, it's actually very good. So that's another reason why I wanted to use it here. And then Tyranny of Heaven is just doing like a ton of ad clear for me. But yeah, switching to surges, so double solar and 1 strand. I think that's a pretty appropriate mix. I'm using fastball intentionally because I find with fusion nades, fastball is just really good. Um, and I want to make sure that I hit the boss, that my aim is on point because I'm using revitalizing blast, right? So I don't at every single boss I don't want to throw my hammer at the boss and then just forget about my hammer, because then I might not have it for the next plate. It means I might lose radiant. I want to maintain my radiant, so ideally use my hammer on ads that are nearby, or if the boss is close to me at the plate and I can pick it back up. But otherwise, if the boss is far, I'm going to throw that fusion grenade to apply weaken, right? Yeah, so that's pretty much the setup for Locust. And then same thing for Heffen. I'm going to surge swap. So actually use 2 exotics here. Precious Scar, like Helma Saint 14 isn't helping you unless you're putting your bubble down, right? So for setup, I'm going to use Precious Scars. That way, like I'm going to have Devour, and keep in mind Devour was nerfed.
I've tossed my hammer away lots of times.
Yeah, I think we all have, GP Red. I know I certainly have. Sometimes I do it intentionally, but I've probably lost it more times unintentionally. But yeah. So I'm going to run Precious Scars because Devour was nerfed. You only get, I think, roughly half of your health back on kill with Devour now. But if you get that Restoration on every kill as well from using I'm using Word of Crota for my ad clear. This Word of Crota is basically like an exotic weapon for Sentinel. If you're on Void Titan with Offensive Bulwark, right, to give you that 400% grenade energy regen while you have an overshield, every kill that you get, you're pretty much proccing your overshield with those volatile explosions from destabilizing rounds. So it means that I can maintain Offensive Bulwark for grenade energy with Devour giving me grenade energy. The Overshield is giving me survivability as well, and Devour is as well, of course, and then Restoration from Precious Scars. So the way that Precious Scars work, a lot of people think that you got to use it with Solar because it's a Restoration-based exotic, but I find it's the opposite. You should be using it on classes that don't have Restoration available, because you can get Restoration so easily on Solar Titan or any Solar subclass, whether it's from your Healing Grenade or your Sunspots or Sol Invictus or Ember of Empyrean and Solus. There's just so many ways to get Restoration and keep that uptime going without Precious Scars that it's really effective if you use it on a non-Solar subclass. So yeah, every Void kill that I get, every Void weapon kill is going to give me Restoration. So I'm going to get half my health from Devour, and then it's going to refill the rest of my health from Restoration. Supremacy is to use it on the boss, but with Kinetic Tremors, it's also very good for ad clear, and it's really good on the Scorn Captains. Leviathan's Breath is going to be my DPS option. So once I start damage, I'm going to switch to basically while I'm capturing the last totem, I put down my barricade, and then as soon as I put my barricade down, I can swap over to Helma Saint 14. Then I can run over to the other side where the totems are. Ideally, if there's enough time, I can drop my bubble on those totems, and then I'll have a Void Overshield as I strafe in and out of the bubble in between draw time for Leviathan's Breath. So it actually works pretty nicely. And then being on Void Titan, I get all the same benefits from the seasonal artifact as far as having an empowering buff with a debuff, right? Because I'm going to be applying 15% weaken from my Void Grenades, right? As long as I have Echo of Undermining. And then I get 25% extra damage from Weapons of Light, which is the same as Radiant, and they don't stack. So yeah, Void Titan is pretty much your only other option outside of the seasonal artifact and Solar for getting that Revitalizing Blast plus Radiant-like effect, right, for extra damage. Because if you don't stack the debuff and the buff, then it's just a slog. But yeah, so that's the builds there. So let's see. I think I left off last night on solar. One thing I do on solar is I always switch on solar. I switch my charged melee, my grenade buttons, because I don't want to lose my hammer as much. So I just find it easier to throw my hammer with the bumper. That way I don't have to take my thumb off the joystick to throw my hammer. Because if you do that, then you can't aim, and then you're more likely to miss your hammer and potentially lose it. But yeah, alright, so let's get into it here. I'm just going to wash my hands real quick and then I'll be right back.
Fighting time.
Fighting time indeed.
Guardian, good running tactical for you again. This is where the Dark Ether Trail went cold. Oh, Petra's calling. I'll patch her into the feed. Petra, did you lose some scorn on Earth?
Not exactly. Ribbon tells us an Ahamkara claims territory in this region.
I've patrolled this range dozens of times. I'd have noticed a dragon.
They have a history of eluding you, but we'll get to the bottom of this.
ERB.
Problemo.
A minion of the Ahamkara here, I guess. Approach with caution.
I'm using a sidearm here because with anti-barrier rounds you can just easily shoot through the Raider's shields. Plus this thing has incandescent heal clips, so I can get radiant, positive emissions, etc. One thing I forgot to do there though is I was supposed to get my woven mail. Cap this. Ah, gonna be a bad damage phase. Very bad damage phase. And I wasted my super, but that's okay. Probably still pull off the 3-phase. Actually gonna get a full damage phase here.
Sorry, since I'm disabled and spend a lot of time at home, I watch my neighbors' houses for them and they're always calling me. LOL.
They actually almost got the 3-phase. Yeah, no problem, GP Red. My wife's disabled, so she's at home a lot too. Oh, I'm actually gonna die. Okay, I get to redeem myself.
I did this for the foe.
The foe?
First time with Jill and Brad.
Oh, like your first run of the dungeon? What? How does that work? What?
I was so lost. I never do these since I play alone and suck. LOL.
This is where the Dark Ether Trail went cold. Oh, Petra's calling. I'll patch her into the feed.
I think that the first dungeon, the first dungeon I did was Duality, and I went into it on an LFG, blind, like with no guidance. We were pretty lost. I think it took us like 3 hours, and there was somebody in the fire team that was kind of like, you know, the leader, and they were looking up some strats and stuff online. It's definitely a different experience going into the dungeon. Not knowing what's going on.
Sorry, my fat fingers hit the wrong keys at times.
Okay. Yeah, did you see that? That was the weirdest thing ever. I reloaded the dungeon with no checkpoint, and it put me straight into the jail cell, like, after the Rathiel encounter. And then I died, somehow, without doing anything, and then it started me at the beginning of the dungeon. I've never seen that before. Actually, I'm gonna clip that, because that was weird.
Weird. Use the trials tactic, just don't die, bro.
Okay. Just don't die, bro. It's as simple as that, really. I just haven't learned how to do that yet.
Guardian, good running tactical for you again. This is where the Dark Ether Trail went cold. Oh, Petra's calling. I'll patch her into the feed. Petra, did you lose some scorn on Earth?
Not exactly. Riven tells us an Ahamkara claims territory in this region.
I've patrolled this range dozens of times. I'd have noticed a dragon.
They have a history of eluding you, but we'll get to the bottom of this. Ahamkara here, I guess. Approach with caution.
Okay. Okay, I noticed I might want to make a change here. I could drop the surges. I don't think the surges are really helping me any anyway, since it's all pretty much ability. And maybe just go with, because I don't know if you saw that last time there, but I got stuck reloading my weapons like a fool in the middle of damage phase. So if I go with Void Loader and Strand Loader, or I could just take the time and make sure I reload my stuff before I go into damage phase. That would be the smart way to do it. But I'm going to go with the thoughtless way to do it. It's definitely like having 10% on tractor cannon and the shotgun is not going to be the difference between a 3-phase and a 3-phase basically. It makes no difference.
Yeah, but who wants to reload?
Yeah, right? We're spoiled by stuff like reconstruction and demo. Except for this pistol, you definitely want to reload this with heel clip.
Has ruined me, haha.
See, I would say that's going to be a 2-phase, but it's really only going to be a 2-phase if I skip the next damage phase so I can get my super back. And then there's still no guarantee because you don't know where the totems are going to spawn. That was such a good damage phase too. The first one. Alright. Enough being greedy. Start just trying to do the solo flawless. It's true, they keep putting these perks in there like reconstruction. Like, it was a raid perk, right? For Deepstone, and now it's just like dropping on world drops. The sidearm is heliocentric with heel clip and incandescent. Highly recommend it for PvP. Especially because heel clip just got a buff, so now you get cure times 2. Okay, now I got no shotgun ammo.
Good running tactical for you again. This is where the Dark Ether Trail went cold. Oh, Petra's calling. I'll patch her into the feed. Petra, did you lose some scorn on Earth?
Not exactly.
The heliocentric is also, it's a world drop, so you can just get it anywhere from opening engrams.
They have a history of eluding you, but we'll get to the bottom of this.
No tangle for me. No woven mail for me.
A minion of the Ahamkara here, I guess. Approach with caution.
With HC/KC. Love the thing. I just woke up and NTIs are having a hard time see my phone screen load.
See, the difference between that damage phase and the one from the last one was I missed my grapple melee. It would have been down like another 20% if I had hit that grapple melee. I'm okay with that though. I actually anticipate that they're probably gonna remove the ability to 1-2 punch grapple melee. Because I mean, that's what makes Strand Titan busted compared to all the other classes. Come on. See, I could just like wait for my super to come back in 2 phase, but really, what's the point? Then you're just wasting time.
That's about how well grapple melee works for me too.
Yeah, it goes exactly where you don't want it to. Get out of here. Some special.
What was that?
Okay.
I just got a spike of weird taken energy.
That was a chimera. It must be the Ahamkara's avatar.
Heal clip, kill clip. Yeah, Forrest, I was looking at possibly hanging on to one of those rolls as well, but I think it's definitely more of a PvP roll, right? I mean, extra damage is extra damage, but I just love incandescent.
%.
Thanks for stopping by the way. Appreciate it.
PvP for sure. I need an incandescent one.
Wish Ender. It's anti-barrier, but that's just too big of a crack to shoot through. It can only pierce objects. It can't pierce empty space. This one here is going to be the same problem. I already know it. Oh. Okay, so the trick is when you're shooting through these things, you got to see the red. If you don't see the red, then it's not going to go through it.
No worries. I was pretty stoked to see you were live.
Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm definitely not a natural streamer, so I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm definitely more of the just kind of play in Solus and get my gameplay footage and then make a video about it. My wife and son are definitely more live streaming types. They actually both live stream multiple times a week.
Best kind of streamer to me.
Oh, thanks.
Well, your guide definitely helped me get MT solo dungeon run. Still working on the flawless.
Really? You mean like the I think I put out the 3 videos on soloing each boss. Is that what you mean?
Yes.
Oh, good. Glad to hear it. Actually, most of the solo flawless videos that I've put out for the dungeons, like Ghosts of the Deep, like they don't do very well on the channel for some reason. I think it's just because they're too long. But like with Warlords, it wasn't a solo flawless guide, it was just a solo boss guide for each boss. And those did better
Just like
individually.
little tips and such that you bring up.
Give me that tangle so I can get out of here.
I've watched Leopard for years now. He mostly does GM stuff. I love watching.
I like watching Leopard too. Super entertaining. Actually, I was watching a lot of Leopard when he was doing this, the dungeon. He even did it on Master. Did he get the Master clear? Solo? I can't remember. I just know he was doing it on Warlock. Switch my hammer to my bumper. Okay. Take a little bit of a breather here before I start this one.
Probably, but I don't remember either. Stretch time.
Yeah, I definitely watched him more when he was soloing this dungeon. I've watched a little, like it depends on the GM. Sometimes I find the GM's a bit stale, but if it's like a good GM, then I'll watch. But yeah, Leopard's hilarious. Okay. So if you caught the video where I did this last time, I was using Apex Predator with bipod. To 3-phase with this, you really need to like have a lot of heavy ammo bricks on the ground, even with bipod, because these didn't get a reserve bump, because it's an adaptive frame. It was only the precision and high impact frames that got extra rockets. But yeah, Dragon's Breath is definitely more optimal. Like, you get way better ammo economy with this thing now that it got like, I don't even think I need solar reserves. Probably not, but I'm going to use it anyway. So I'll have 11 rockets, which is enough to do the whole damage phase.
Can you explain bipod? Isn't it less damage? I see people using it and I don't get it.
Okay, so bipod it's good for total damage. It's not necessarily good for DPS, right? Although it can be good for DPS with reconstruction because you get 4 rockets that you can just shoot all at once, right? So you kind of have to weigh what's more damage, shooting 4 rockets at once or shooting 2 rockets at once. But really, like, I was using bipod for this encounter for the total damage, because if you use like bait and switch, which, you know, I have a bait and switch one and I have a surrounded one, you only get like 8 rockets, 7 or 8 rockets. You're gonna run out of rockets so fast that you're gonna be left doing like half the damage phase without any rockets. Whereas with bipod, you get like I think 14 rockets with 2 reserves. So that's the way I was doing it before. So 14 rockets, I don't know exactly what the math is, but it works out to be about, like, I think it's a little bit more total damage. But really where bipod shines the most is in like GMs. Because a bipod rocket is plenty enough damage to take care of champions, mini bosses, champions, ad clear, stuff like that, and total damage, right? It's not a DPS type of rocket, it just gives you more rockets, even though the rockets do 25% less damage. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you.
And because this is such a long damage phase, it actually kind of makes sense here. But Dragon's Breath is even better, because you get 10 rockets at base now, or 9 or something like that, and you're not shooting at reload. You're not shooting one rocket after the next, right? You're alternating between your special weapon and Dragon's Breath. So like, yeah, it's Dragon's Breath is definitely the way to go. I wouldn't be surprised if Dragon's Breath got nerfed coming up. Okay.
Dragons, love the thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's really, really good. I really mostly fell in love with it doing GM farming, just with all the ignitions and everything. But yeah, like, I've seen people use it on dungeons and stuff. It does so much damage. Okay. So I got 1 copy reserves on. I got 10 rockets. It's plenty. Just go over here and kill these minotaurs real quick. Oh, you punt.
got me wanting to run a solo dungeon.
You gotta be in the right mood for it, that's for sure. Like I was saying at the beginning of the stream there, I've taken like 2 months off of trying to solo dungeons, or solo anything really. Alright, let's bring in the big guy. Put my barricade down here just to set him on fire. What? Or not. There, now I'll set him on fire. Kill these snipers. Take out these first 2 turrets. Big guy. This time for real. So far, most of my runs have failed because of freezing to death. I did get them both, right? Yeah. Okay. Wait here until the turrets spawn in, and then kill the snipers. 4 stacks of armor charge. Uh-oh. Yeah, these snipers can easily end your run. Seriously? Kill the snipers on this side too before I start doing my orb run. I should have done turret management too before I started doing my orb run. Just leave one up, so that way I'm not getting blasted the entire time. The other thing is, I want to get my Roaring Flames ×3 before I start damage. That way I can hold on to it and use my super on the second plate. Technically I could use it on the first plate, but there's a lot of ads after the first plate, so if I use it on the second plate I'll clear out all the ads as well. Before I dunk the last orb, I'll clear all these scions one more time. Okay, scions are spawning, so let's go ahead and get one more Roaring Flames refresh. Switch loadouts. Dragon's Breath out already, so as soon as I dunk this, wait for these guys to come over a little closer. Get my Radiant. Slice. Okay. I got Roaring Flames ×3, I think so. Heavy brick, not that I'm going to need it. Yeah, so much more damage with Dragon's Breath. And getting that free extra damage from Torch, from Slice, it's pretty nice. And I literally have a barricade at every single plate. More barricades means more Slice, means more damage, more survivability. I still had, like, I had rockets left by the time I was done. Just gotta make sure not to kill yourself with Dragon's Breath. Okay, bring in the big guy. Get him scorched. Why is that taking so long? 7, 8. Oof, that was close. Get out of here. Both those guys hit you in one shot, like, you're dead. Definitely want to clear these guys down here too, because they can drop ammo, right? So in between each damage phase, just clear out as many of them as you can, because they just keep respawning anyway. It's just like free ammo. Okay. Okay, got 4 orbs. Get rid of these turrets. All but one. Save that brick there, so I could get my max ammo. Oh, I forgot to switch back my frickin' loadout. Okay, let me go switch real quick.
Those boys look crazy running at you like that. LOL.
They are crazy. Okay, so now I gotta wait for my armor charge to fully decay so that I can actually stack it. Because now I'm on a loadout where I'm not using armor charge, I'm just collecting it. Which means that every orb I pick up is just going to decay because it thinks that I'm still on the last loadout. Okay, no more armor charge, it means I can pick up an orb. See, now it's not decaying. Okay, I'm full on armor charge. Just some of these guys. Lost my hammer. You know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna pick up that brick. Just make sure if you lose your hammer that you just keep punching stuff while you have roaring flames, so you can keep that uptime. Get those sunspots. Get the healing. Also, if you dip into your sunspot, you get your hammer back faster anyway. This guy's used my barricade. What are we looking like here? Get one more stack of refresh on Roaring Flames. Switch to damage loadout. Pull out Dragon's Breath. Oh shoot, the Scions aren't close yet. Come on over. Not Radiant, unfortunately, but gold ×2. Forgot to shoot Dragon's Breath. Should have shot Dragon's Breath before I popped my super. It's okay. One more Throde. Okay, I'm Radiant. Slice. Weaken. Five rockets is plenty. Now I can get rid of my hammer. Why? Okay. Still potentially 3-phase. Switch my loadout. Not as good as the first damage phase, but that was still pretty decent. Definitely need to do an ammo run. Okay, I can bring in the big guy. I've got all my abilities. Set him on fire. That. You guys want to huddle up next to each other? You can both eat a grenade. I don't bother with those two snipers over there until I'm ready to start doing orb dunks, because there's no need to. They just respawn anyway. Ah. Too trigger happy. Well, I'm gonna have to call in another captain, but that's okay. The ignition took care of the snipers. Right. Call in one more dude. Actually, I could just kill him outright because I don't need to. Clear out all but one turret. Okay, I'm max ammo. Ooh, that was close. Okay, clear out those guys. The boss might... Oh, I forgot to kill the snipers. Should be okay on this side, though. Boss tends to get aggressive now. Stomp at you. As soon as the boss is below 30 HP, he runs at you. What happened to the snipers? Guess the AoE got them. reloaded. Okay, they're spawning. I could probably switch loadouts and get ready to do this. Dragon's Breath. Die! Okay, that was actually pretty easy 3-phase with everything not going perfectly. Switch my grenade and melee back for the rest of the dungeon.
Well, I'm stressed and I'm only watching.
I was so stressed at first, but I'm not as stressed. Like, I think it's part of that rhythm we were talking about. Once you kind of get into the rhythm, it reduces the anxiety. Except now I'm going into a whole other section of danger. No, I don't need that. Imagine that, I just die from checking a chest. I think they might have fixed it though, so that you don't actually die when you open them now. You just get like one shot. Okay. Real quick bathroom break.
What's up, Stone? Rhino here.
Hey, what's up, Rhino? Nice to see you over here. Thank you, thank you. Well, I made it past Locust, so that's decent. Now I just got to make it through that traversal section and then the big boss. Anyways, be right back. Just taking a quick bathroom break.
I saw that. Great job.
Oh, you saw that? Thanks, Rhino. Yeah, I did a little bit of practicing last night, so although I haven't practiced past this point, other than in team runs in a while, so we'll see how this part goes, but yeah, Dragon's Breath, definitely the way to go. And I usually try to resist the way to go, you know, but Dragon's Breath is just way too fun. Especially with the ammo reserve bump, it's like crazy now. I think I had 1 copy of reserves on, and it's 10 rockets.
Heck yeah.
Did you do it on did you do it on Hunter? I see you're mostly on Hunter whenever I see you on.
I main Hunter, but did it on my Warlock.
Did you do it on Solar, I guess, yeah?
Found it to be the easiest.
Right. Ooh. Should have waited for that guy to jump across.
Yes.
Okay, now I could be risky here and try to do that grapple melee across the traversal. Or I can just go the long way.
Main Karnsteins for Resto X2 and
Oh yeah, Karnsteins are insane. I don't think I've played with them though since the buff or the rework. Oh, there goes my grapple. Oh, definitely not going that way. See, I try to be stubborn. Like, I was trying to do it on Void Titan to do my first solo flawless, but like, that's just me being stubborn, you know? Like, let me do it on something more challenging than I need it to be. And I'm not like... At least get my first solo clear. Or solo flawless clear. And then try doing fancy stuff. Okay, I have a sword, I have a grapple. There's no reason to die here. Okay, should I save super? I could just pass through these guys. Might be the play, and then use my super on the next part. Yeah, screw those guys. I have died here trying to do my solo flawless, so this next part. Got frozen to death by the stupid knights. Not risking it. Pull the nail. Gotta keep that uptime on the woven mail. Is that it? Oh boy. So I'm going to use Void here, and that's not because I'm stubborn. It's because I actually find I have the best survivability with Void Titan for this section. But I've not practiced this solo in a while, so we'll see how this goes. So I'm going to do Precious Scars and swap to Helm.
I hear ya. Invis is clutch when standing in the totem circles.
Yeah, that's true too. For me, it's the Bastion Barricade, and yeah. So when I'm capturing that first set of totems, I'll use Bastion Barricade and then swap to Helmet Saint 14. And if I can, I'll make it over to the other set of totems and drop my bubble on the totems. That way, I have the overshield, and then I can just start damage strafing in and out of my bubble with that consistent overshield. Okay, so I got 14 levy shots. Okay, just play my life, don't get greedy. Get my Devour.
You got this.
Pretty sure I have double void resist on. At least I hope so. Kinetic Tremors does a nice job of taking care of the turrets. If I'm doing this at a fire team though, I try not to use my sniper too much because it's so much harder to get ammo in a fire team. Just make sure that I always have my Devour. get two? I don't know if I did. I forgot to switch my loadout. Ah, screw it. Just start over. Okay, drop barricade, switch loadout, punch the guy, then worry about the rest. And I need an orb real quick. Lost Devour. Oh, I got Rally Barricade on? What? Alright, how am I gonna switch? How am I gonna switch this safely? I'm not supposed to have Rally Barricade on. If I can get him to go up to the next stage, then I can get out of here. Spent all that time making these loadouts, and I had one oversight. Oh, he still hasn't gone up. That's not good. I guess I can go up to the next section up there. Okay. This should be safe, right? Oh. How did I not even notice that? Like on the first time. Okay. Right. Then when I swap to this... Okay. So I got Towering there. I don't know why I had Rally on the other one. Oh. Okay, something's off here. Something is off. Oh, this is a really good thing that I did this because, look, I just lost my super. I lost all my abilities because something's not right in my swap loadout. So fragments are out of order most likely. Leeching, Remnants. Actually, here. Leeching, Remnants, Starvation, Undermining. Undermining, Remnants, Leeching, Starvation. So, because the fragments are out of order, I lose all my abilities. So, if you're gonna swap loadouts, you got to make sure it's all in order. Okay, so let's see. First one is Undermining, Remnants, Leeching, Starvation. Switch this to Undermining, Leeching, Remnants. Was it? Starvation. Okay. Undermining, leeching, remnants, starvation. Undermining, remnants, leeching, starvation. Okay, still not right. Swap remnants and leeching. Okay. Aspects are in the right order, right? Bastion offensive, bastion offensive. Okay. Overwrite. Okay. Alright, so my abilities right now are at like 25%. If I swap loadouts, they're still at 25%. Okay, so we should be good now. Huge mistake. And another mistake is I should have just stayed up there until I had my abilities back. So I'm going to go back up. That way I can get down there and shoulder strike into an ad and get an orb, get devour, get an overshield. Pop barricade on the totem, swap loadout. Swapping loadouts is not actually that easy on this encounter, I find. Especially because you got the timer with the scorn dude that can ruin your run. Okay, it should be good now. I can charge up my super down there. Precious Scars. Do one more loadout swap just to make extra sure. All good. All good. Alright. Thank you. I don't know if I'm gonna have enough heavy ammo to do this, or special. Looking pretty tough. Get my super up first before I do anything. Didn't even check if I had double void resist, but I think I do. Look at these orbs.
Guardian.
Hey, Ransom Rider! Nice to see you in here. Thanks for stopping by. I'm guessing you're not live yet.
Push back the darkness.
Push back the darkness. That's what I'm aiming to do. So far I've made it this far, so we'll see what happens. I'm just afraid that I'm not going to have enough ammo. You know? Got my super. Let's do this. I do not have Devour. Big mistake. Now I have Devour. only got one totem, so it's not going to be very good damage, but... Don't die.
Hello, chat. Take her down.
Bit of a rough start on this boss fight, I realized, because I'm doing a loadout swap, but my fragments were out of order, so when I swapped loadouts, I lost all my abilities in super. Guys, if you don't know Ransom Rider, you gotta go check out that channel, and that right there is someone who knows how to live stream, entertain a crowd. And he'll prove to you that even if you got white hair, you can still solo a Grandmaster, and as Ransom says, push back the darkness.
LVGP Red 1.
Okay, I got my super, full on ammo. Definitely not gonna have an ammo issue. I just haven't practiced this boss fight in a while, so I'm gonna aim to survive and not get greedy on damage.
Having twins. Peace. I can relate to that. White hair statement lol.
Okay, let's bring in the captains. Still have Devour. Still have Devour.
LOL.
Only got one again, but whatever. Okay, not trying to do a lot of damage, right? I'm just trying to live. I do not have Devour, so I'm super careful here. Get Devour right here. I did switch my loadout back, right? I've just not seen restoration on my screen.
It would be a real super if you could shoot through it.
It's pretty rough so far, but I think I've been redlining it a little bit more than I'm comfortable with. Cursed Thrall is so good on this weapon. This is why this thing feels like an exotic.
Having babies have met their match.
Ouch.
Deserve the end of your weapon.
Missed. Can't see his crit. Okay. I've already got Devour, so let's just kill something. I don't have Devour anymore.
Hello, GPL Red One. Nasty wizard with torn dress.
What's the, her dress is torn and her crown is falling off. This is probably the trickiest platform to solo, I would say. Just make sure I get my super first.
Hello, ransom_rider. Yes. Torn dress and lopsided crown.
Okay. We're looking pretty good on ammo and abilities. Got Devour still.
K_12.
Just need to make sure that I keep killing. If I take a pause from killing, I'm gonna lose Devour and Restoration. That is the worst thing that can happen with this build.
These third-rate witches are no match for the stonemason.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I like to give my enemies the benefit of the doubt. Why did I not... Oh, that was a horrible grenade throw. I didn't even swap loadouts. Oh! Am I in my bubble? I am. Never mind damage, never mind damage. This is what I get for not warming up on this encounter. Hoi. Okay, I got Devour. That's all I wanted. Thank you very much. Now I'll go back. Get from these blight pools.
It's okay, man. Marathon, not a sprint. You're doing just fine.
That's it. I just want the emblem. That's it. Worry about the fancy stuff later.
To see skill and knowledge unleashed upon the taken. Take them down, stonemason. Take them all. You have the power. That hand cannon is crazy.
It is. You get those. You get one punch and then you get Cursed Thrall going. It's kind of like incandescent. And I appreciate the support, Ransom. Thank you very much. This one's got destabilizing rounds and repulsive brace. So I can keep my overshield up and get that grenade energy from the overshield. Not that I'm really using my grenade. The heck?
Ransom, are you going to try for the GL today?
Okay. It's go time.
Oh yes. I will be going for the GL. You got this, stonemason.
I'm gonna lose my Helm of St. 14 again, my swap.
Hello, Speakeasy. Hey, Ransom.
Whew. Get out of here. So in my boss builds video where I soloed this boss, I moved the boss after each damage phase to the next platform. Now it's taken me 2-3 times, but it's okay. It's okay. Marathon. Okay, I need to get devoured. There we go. Almost got my super back. Lost Devour. I think I forgot that I don't have fastball on or something. I was using fastball on the last encounter. So my nade throws have been off in this encounter. Okay, where's this dude at? Oh, there he is. Now he's gonna move. There we go. This is what damage is supposed to look like. I don't know if I think I only got one totem though, unfortunately. Okay, I do have a grenade, I do have a barricade, it means I can safely go up to the next platform. I do have armor charge as well. Not going to the next platform until I have my barricade back and my nade. Marathon. So I'm gonna lose armor charge, but that's okay. Okay, I got my grenade.
Feed the monster the tip and shaft of Leviathan's breath.
I did just update this Helm of Saint 14 build, so I actually have 100 Discipline instead. I think I was like at 60 before or something with my previous build, but since I've been doing all the armor upgrading lately, now I don't have to wait as long, at least, for my grenade.
Eating the damage. She has no choice as Stonemason aims true.
Oh. Didn't even swap.
Job. Easy 3.
Thank you, thank you. Are you guys able to hear chat on the live stream? Because I have it on my PS5, so I actually reads it out. Just not sure if you guys can hear it.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
We can hear chat.
Hopefully it's not annoying. I would have streamed from my, like with OBS on my PC, but I've been having issues with my Elgato. For some reason, only on my profile with my settings, but like my wife streams from OBS, like PS5 to OBS all the time and has no issues. I'd ask her what her secret is, but I'm the one that sets it up for her, so it's I don't even know. So I'm just streaming from the PS5 because it's easy and the stream's not going to freeze.
I use OBS.
Yeah, I like OBS. I wish I understood it better though. Like I could figure out the basics, but okay, I got my super. That should take care of those turrets.
Okay, that could just be my YT settings. No big deal. I can read just fine, lol. I have no understanding of OBS as how it handles technical. Big numbers.
That was a much better damage phase. Now that I'm getting into the rhythm. Okay, don't have Devour. Now I do. Where did the wizard go? Crown must have fallen off and she jumped off to go get it.
Rhythm is a dancer. Cue the music.
Cue the music. There she is. Order of priorities. It's part of the rhythm. Get that Devour, take care of the two wizards, get my super back, get the turrets out of the way, call in the Scorn Captain, throw a grenade at him, get a kinetic tremor going, get to the totem, put down my barricade, switch my loadout, punch the Scorn, get ready to pop my super and do damage. Pop my super, then throw my grenade and then do damage. Call him in. That was close. Why does it say imminent wish 0 the whole time? No, no, no. That bubble. Because it took the boss so long to start damage it. Swap my loadout. Actually, that bubble expired before I can switch my loadout at the end of damage phase. It's close. That's why it's always a bit risky to swap loadouts. I got 13. Top up right here. I wish these taken blights would actually count as kills so you can refresh your restoration and devour, but they don't for some reason. The turrets do. Orbs here to get my super. Of course, it spawns stuff there. Where's he at?
Unusual spawn spot.
I know. I thought they fixed it, right? Just makes it impossible to get to. Get the heck out of here. What's he doing up there? The AI is all over the place. go. Okay, max ammo. I got my abilities. Call in the big guy.
When the hand cannon cooks, it makes a full meal.
It really does. Oof, bad spot. I don't like it. Don't like it. No way to strafe sideways out of the bubble. Going frontwards out of it is just like asking to get hit directly by that void ball. I got my barricade, I got my super. Maybe I'll leave some orbs here for the next one.
Guardians, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Stone Mason. Help his light shine.
Thank you, Lance. Is there any orbs left? Looks like they all expired. Oh well. It's worth a try. Got my grenade. I just need my barricade. My grenade is coming back faster than my barricade. I guess it's because I had an overshield while I was up there. So it got a head start recharging. Another thing that I could do with the damage rotation is proc 2 shots with Supremacy for kinetic tremors. Could actually put my bubble down for this one. Could use some more ammo though. Should be enough. So that whole time I didn't have Helm Sync 14, but that's okay.
The end is nigh.
that supremacy did 1% more damage, I wouldn't be able to two-shot turret for kinetic tremors.
You got this.
No, no, no. Where's he at? Actually, you know what? I don't even need to switch. Whatever. What's he doing? What's he even looking at? What the heck? What's it? Look at him. I've never seen that. On 1 second on Devour.
I have had that happen.
Really? Don't tell me I gotta restart the dungeon. I was able to do damage still. Just no critical damage. And I gotta make sure not to drop my bubble here. So probably stay on Precious Scars. No way.
Bungie fixed it.
Yeah, I thought they fixed stuff in this dungeon like 5 times already.
If you're able to scale the damage, just keep it up.
It did damage. Is she just not gonna go to final stand now? Well, so far I've had 2 things that I've never seen happen before. In this, today in this dungeon. When I started the dungeon with no checkpoint, it put me in the jail cell.
Just be on the cusp.
Well, if I can get her to go to final stand, I think we can still do it. I'm gonna remain optimistic.
Don't quit it, she is taking damage. Yeah, you're good. Just snipe her once and go to final stand with all your heavy.
Yep. And my super.
Just click.
Oh, look, she fixed. Get out of here.
Let's go up. Yowie.
Finally, this dungeon can quit haunting me in my dreams.
GG Stonemason.
Thank you guys.
Congrats.
If it wasn't for all of your pep talks, I probably would have made some poor decisions and died, because I was redlining it way more times than I should have survived.
I'm going to need a nap after this. LOL.
Yeah, me too. So let's see here. Where do I get the emblem? Wait. Oh, it does increase your chances at getting the... That's why. Okay.
I did pucker up my beehole a few times, lol.
What are these? Heffen's Veg Complete. Oh, on a Strand subclass? I didn't know that there was... What? I didn't know that there was all these triumphs here. I just thought the emblem was from there. Because I got this title done, so I figured that was where all the chances for Buried Bloodline were at. But that makes sense, because literally when I finished Duality, when I finished Spire, and when I finished Ghosts, when I did the solo flawless, my next run after dropped me the exotic. So I bet you next week, because I've already taken my 3 chances this week, I bet you next week I'll get Buried Bloodline. It was messy, but we got it done. Thank you everybody in chat for joining in. And I apologize if I haven't if I missed some of your chats, but I was in the zone.
Catch you later, Stonemason.
All right, Ransom. Well, I hope you're streaming. If you are, I'll be tuning in. Thanks for stopping by. We'll see you soon. All right. Well, I've got my emblem, so this is probably going to remain on my character for a while. Oof. All right, so again, for anybody that wasn't here at the start, these are the 6 loadouts that I brought into the dungeon.
GG Stone.
Catch you later, Rhino. Good luck with everything. Take care.
And God bless you, Stone.
GP Red, see you next time. Maybe I'll see you in Ransom's chat. But yeah, for whoever's watching still, if you didn't catch from the beginning, 6 loadouts. I've got, I went Strand, Solar, and Void. This is my Traversal loadout, so in between every encounter, I just use this. Wish Ender is just old reliable. Does extra damage or extra accuracy to taken enemies, so it's very good. 1-2 punch shotgun. Eager Edge to save myself. And then for Rathiel, Strand Titan focused on ability damage with 30% extra damage from Tractor Cannon, 1-2 punch shotgun, and this thing for ad clear and survivability, heal clip incandescent. Then for Locus, Lorelei Splendor all the way. I just had a surge swap for damage phase. So for setup, I'm just not using armor charge. I'm just collecting armor charge with charged up. Hardly any damage resist because Lorelei Splendor is just that good. So I can stack four armor charge and then have enough for the very long damage phase that Locus is. Dragon's Breath. In my previous boss builds video where I soloed Locus, I used bipod rocket launcher, which is also pretty good, but Dragon's Breath is just so much better. You just do so much more damage, especially now that it got the reserve bump up to 9. So with 1 reserves, you get 10 rockets, which is just nuts. And then I used Scatter Signal, which I crafted this one last night, because I've been using Overflow Control Burst, which is good for sustained damage. You can get a lot in the mag at once. But when you're swapping between Dragon's Breath and your Scatter Signal, it doesn't really matter how large the mag is anyway, because you're just shooting like 2-3 shots, then back to Dragon's Breath. You lose Controlled Burst whenever you stop shooting it, so you have to reproc it on your next time anyway. So Slice actually works beautifully with Lorelei Splendor, because Slice, actually I'm just going to record, I'm pretty sure I've gone way past, but Slice can apply Sever, so not only is the boss going to do 40% less damage to me, which adds to my survivability, but it procs Torch from the seasonal artifact, right? So Strand debuff targets, so if the boss is severed, sliced, then while I'm Radiant, I do more weapon damage, right? So Dragon's Breath and Scatter Signal are doing more damage from Torch. And it worked out really well, because the awkward thing with Slice is you got to put down your barricade to get it to proc, which is kind of situational. But if you're on Lorelei Splendor with Ember of Singeing, you can literally put down your barricade at every single plate and slice the boss. So yeah, really good for that. Tyranny of Heaven is just an ad clear machine, especially with the artifact, precision hits causing ignitions, incandescent, enhanced incandescent for spreading, scorch and further ignitions, explosive head just for that extra damage. When I do my surge swap, I actually switch to 1 strand, 2 solar, triple time dilation. So I have 60 seconds of armor charge, and it's more than likely I'm going to get an orb from Prockin Radiant on a ad during damage phase, so I'll get to pick up another orb. So I basically have armor charge for the entire time. I did a 3-phased Locust, so that was pretty good. And then as you probably just saw from Heffend, I used I'm using Offensive Bulwark, Titan, Sentinel, so I can get extra overshields with Bastion. Precious Scars gives me Restoration, which complements Devour, so every kill is going to give me half my health back from Devour. It's going to give me an overshield from Repulsor Brace, which is going to give me Offensive Bulwark, which is going to give me extra lunge range on my punches. My punches proc Cursed Thrall, so additionally, on top of the volatile rounds or the destabilizing rounds, I've got Cursed Thrall explosions going off. And Precious Scars is giving me a restoration on every single void weapon kill. So super good for survivability. Word of Crota is basically like, this is my most used legendary weapon. This is just insane on Void Titan specifically. With Repulsor Brace and destabilizing rounds, I highly recommend it. supremacy for the Scorn captains, or the Scorn mini bosses with the totems, so I can throw my Echo of Undermining grenade at the Scorn captain, weaken them. 2 shots, going to proc kinetic tremors, and then they're probably going to die with just a few sniper shots. Also, 2 shots from the sniper takes care of basically all of the turrets around the boss. And then Leviathan's Breath for DPS. So when I switch to my damage loadout, I switch to Helm of Saint 14, so I can put my bubble down, and then I can have an overshield as I strafe in and out of my bubble. I never have to worry about the turrets or the boss blasting me, because I've always got that overshield, and I've got the bubble that I'm strafing in and out of. Leviathan's Breath with Archer's Tempo, like the rhythm, drawing that arrow gives me enough time to strafe in and out of my bubble in between every shot. So I'm always refreshing my overshield with every single shot. And I'm benefiting from Weapons of Light for 25% extra damage, and Echo of Undermining from my grenade, because as you know, I think with Offensive Bulwark it is, when you put your bubble down, you get a full grenade recharge. So even though I use my grenade on the Scorn mini boss, as soon as I put my bubble down, I get another one. I throw my grenade at the boss. The boss is now weakened. I got 25% extra from Weapons of Light, and then I just damage the boss. I was out of practice on the boss for this run here, but it was pretty long and grueling, and I almost died several times, but we got it done. So that's what happens when you take a couple months off of trying to solo the dungeon. You lose the rhythm. Locust went pretty good though, because I actually did a little bit of practice last night. I did Rathiel and Locust, so I got a little bit of practice there. So that's why those 2 encounters went a lot smoother than the last one. But alas, we got it done. We got the emblem. We got the triumph. I think I've got all of the claimed triumphs that increase the exotic for Buried Bloodline. So maybe I'll finally get that next week as well. But yeah, that's basically it. 2 seconds and we're going back to orbit. So there we have it. Massive amounts of health these bosses have, but there we go. Anyways, that's going to be it for the stream. So appreciate everybody watching, and if you missed it, I will make sure to include this. It'll be in the live section on my channel, so you can check that out. Just go to my channel, look for the live tab, and you can find the video there with the solo flawless run completely. So again, thanks everybody for joining in. GP Red, Ransom Rider, Rhino, and everybody else that was in chat. Greatly appreciate it. All the pep talk and the support throughout it helped me get through it. Go check out Ransom Rider. He's probably streaming Iron Banner right now. If you don't know who Ransom Rider is, he is a stellar streamer, absolutely stellar. He's going to show you how to solo GMs with white hair. Doesn't matter what color your hair is, you can do anything in this game. So, yep, appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next one.